you. I think I'll follow on. Does Councillor Hudspeth agree that HIF1 is vital for the investment in Network Rail and Highways England, development generally?
Thank you very much. I think that if you actually look at the chart there, you can see the largest piece of infrastructure funding we require is the rail, and that's particular, obviously, Network Rail, over £3 billion. And you've got to remember that we've got a rail connectivity study coming out later this year, which we've been working with Network Rail, and that'll provide some of the answers. I suspect we already all know what some of those answers are. But for instance, the Cowley branch line, it was nearly 5 years ago that there was the press coverage of the line going down there, and Network Rail haven't done anything since then, so we need to continually lobby. Equally so, you look at the strategic highways, which obviously is the A34. That's a substantial amount of money, over £2 billion, which, again, I think we all agree that we need to improve the A34 to make sure that accidents like last week don't happen, and the gridlock we have on a weekly basis. The other large item is hospitals, which again, over £1 billion identified in this report. So you can see there's a large amount of infrastructure funding that isn't directly related to the County Council, although we continue to lobby all the time. Of course, this is lack of government funding over the years, and I'm not just going to relate to one particular party, because in the 90s, the Conservatives didn't provide the infrastructure funding. In the start of the century, the Labour Party didn't provide the infrastructure funding. In 2010, the Conservatives and Liberal Democratic Party didn't provide the infrastructure funding. So it's been a deficit for many decades. We have been successful in being awarded £535 million for infrastructure, which will really deliver those houses, which is good news. However, there is the concern around South Oxfordshire and what relating to HIF1. The concern is that it's very clear with MHCLG and the negotiations with the County Council and MHCLG that we require a local plan to be in place. If South Oxfordshire District Council members on the October the 10th take a decision not to have a local plan, then immediately the HIF fund bid ceases. That means we lose £218 million of vital infrastructure funding. It puts into question the local plan for South Oxfordshire, but more importantly, the unintended consequences for Vale, because immediately Vale do not have a local plan. We also have the issue around HIF2. Now, when the HIF funding was announced, it said, if you're unsuccessful with HIF1, you won't be successful with HIF2. If you're successful with HIF1, you will probably get HIF2, which is the case. I understand that we're very close on HIF2, £102 million for the A40, much needed. It's been going on 30 or 40 years. The time is right. So what is the government likely to do if we reject HIF1, which is what would happen if SODC don't have a local plan? Then I should imagine they will not progress HIF2, and we'd lose that £102 million. Then that throws into question around all the other funding on the growth deal, because we'd have to reprioritise all those issues. And so you can see the decision that's going to be taken by SODC councillors is not just about SODC, it is about Oxfordshire. And if they take that decision, they will be losing £535 million of much-needed infrastructure. That can't be right. We've got to make sure that they make the right decision so we can deliver the infrastructure, and that's what residents want, infrastructure to deliver the homes. Thank you very much.